Hello, hello, welcome everyone. Phoenix61 here for you tonight with a Skull and Bones video, and today we are talking pieces of eights. This is the end game strategy. Oh, I just love being by the puking chick here. Anyway, this is the end game strategy for season 2. As far as collecting pieces of eights, right? So we're going to go through kind of the top producing factories. As you can see, we have everything unlocked now at this point. We're about halfway through the season, maybe a little bit more, right? And so I threw it out there. You know, if you've watched my other pieces of 8 videos, we've got, you know, one for the beginning of season 8, or for season 2, sorry. And, you know, we kind of took the strategy of that we did for last season, right? Which was a lot of coast of Africa, focusing on trade routes and stuff like that. But I threw it out there like, hey, if you guys know what's working better for this season, let me know. And you guys delivered because it's the East Indies, right? So I think a lot of this has to do with the upgrades and the type of item being produced at each factory. But as you can see, most of the higher producing pieces of eights, when you're just focusing on what's the max pieces of eights, you can see they're in the East Indies here, right? So I've got them listed highest to lowest, and I actually just went through the whole map, and whichever ones I found that were higher than 100 production, you know, for at most, I put them in the list there, right? So check out the rest of the video here, because we're going to talk some strategy too, and then if you need that list, go back and pause the video at that point, right? But yeah, Sunni Capital is here. I'm going to go through the ones that I kind of have memorized where they are, but this is the biggest one. This is the best one. Sangdad, however you say that, right? 148 an hour with Black Lotus Opium. This one here, North Demai Foundry, is also really good, and it's kind of nice because they're pretty close to each other for doing supply runs if you really want to take that leap, right? South Sunni Weaver, all of these ones in this sort of section are all great. Fort Granby and Granby also does 123 an hour when you max it out with Black Lotus Opium there. Right, so I'm going to go and see if I can remember where all of the goodies are. Some of these, no, fail, hashtag fail. And then, yeah, Lada Foundry is a good one. 118 there. Right, I can't remember if Lada's good. No, it's not. Right, I think this is Houston Capital is good, 128. Oh, and Fort Picasso is good. I think I skipped past that one. Right, so this is where they're at. Lar South Lumberyard, Fort Premi, 113 for Black Lotus Opium there, right? So, and I'll go through the, you know, I'll just kind of show off too that we have all the upgrades and everything too. So if you're looking for like which, you know, if you're not like me and you haven't unlocked just go plowing through everything, right? These would be the ones to rank up first, basically. Yeah, Fort Picasso there, 113. Right. So, but yeah, check out the list again when you got time. If you need to, that's a good place to pause the video. A couple of these, yeah, Doyster North Foundry is good, 118. I think something to note here is some of these have, I don't know if it's once you get everything upgraded or what triggers this, but this one has a recommended ship rank of 14 if you're using your fleet ships to pick up 8s, right? So keep that in mind, right? I've done that where, and these down here are like 13s and 12s, I think, too. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. You know, I've had the ships basically get damaged, and then you got to pay some silver to repair them, right? So, but yeah, so if you're looking at the map here, you can see we've got over on the left. You can see we have 35 of 40 ships. Yeah, this is the only one in Red Isle. This that has above 100, right? So none of these other ones get above 100. So that's the only one there. But yeah, so we're kind of maxed out on how many ships we can have for our fleet. You get, you know, you have your starter Dow ship, right? And then I have 4 kind of ship builds. And then the rest are all fleet ships that I'm using to collect 8s, right? So yeah, Pilot Bay Weaver is good for Coast of Africa. There's a handful along here that are decent, that get above 100 once you've maxed them out. Yeah, Ports of Mines, I think this is the best one for Coast of Africa, I think, right? So, yeah, there it is, 123. So yeah, some of these are just like, you know, I think if you if you really want to go all out on it, like, this is fine. Like, once you get to this point, I feel like it's like kind of like you've won. But if you really want to like keep going, if you're like fighting the leaderboards, I guess you're gonna want to do supply runs and run raw materials to them. But basically what I'm doing is, you don't need as many ships as I have. I think I kind of sort of overdid it, right? But just reassign, right? So as you see the factory starting to get full, go to that one and reassign a ship. Just grab, focus on the ship rank, but you can see the little like industrial symbol in the top right. So those are ships that I have assigned to be fleet ships, right, that are already collecting from other locations. And if it's not, darkened out, that it's not on a supply run, which means that factory is basically empty right now. So you can reassign it, right? So go through all of your ones that are starting to get, full or maybe more than halfway full, and just start reassigning a new ship. But just keep an eye on the ship level recommended. I think that would be the only thing. When I was first making ships for the fleet, I was trying to get them all at 12. And I think that's maybe a little bit of overkill there, right? So I started making, I think like the second half I was making them level 11s, right? But there were those couple that wanted like, the minimum ship rank was like 13 and 14, right? So, you do you, right? You can figure that out, but you don't need everybody to be super high level, because some of the recommendations are like 7, right? So, yeah. But so we'll go to Talak Panjaro just really quick here and take a quick visit to the helm office. And then, and so I'll show you what the leaderboards kind of look like when you get to this situation, right? So, I think at this point, by the end of the season, I'm going to have more 8s than I know what to do with. At this, it's just going to be kind of dumb, because we've already bought out everything from the like black market stuff, right? Like even just last season I was able to buy all the like cosmetics and stuff, and there wasn't that much new, right? So seasonal, we're at about 500 here, as you can see. I'm not sure why the folks that are cooler than me, that are beating me, are blurred out, not loading here, I guess. And then weekly I've been hovering around like in the 200s as well. So I think if you want to, there's going to be a lot of people that are kind of at this level where they're just letting the factories run their normal course, and then whenever you sign in, basically you're funding the factories, the ones that have run out, right, with silver. And we all have been farming the silver. If you don't know how to do that, check out my other videos. And then just reassigning ships, right? I think that's probably kind of what all of these folks that are around me, as far as rank goes, that's probably their kind of strategy, right? But just scrolling through really quick just to show you that we've got all the upgrades taken care of. And if you checked out my other Pieces of 8 video from this season, I kind of tell you which ones to prioritize. At least that was, my opinion in the beginning of the season. But yeah, so if you really care about the leaderboard ranks, you're gonna have to do supply runs. I've done like a couple here and there just because I've got enough helm materials, and I'm like, whatever. And I wanted to I was farming 8s, I wanted to be able to like buy a bunch of like the legacy crates just to see what we got, right? So the biggest one, the like Sangdad or whichever it was, and then the one next to it, both take 230 poppy. So what I was doing is, this is kind of a quick and easy supply run. You go to Ragnak Cove, whatever, and then Sangdad, and then this one here, north to my foundry, right? So I start at Ragnak Cave, and just go and just hit those two up with the 460 poppy in my cargo hold, because they each take 230, right? So we'll just set sail really quick. We won't do the whole sail drive here, right? Because that'd be boring. You don't need to watch me sail. We all know how to do that, right? But yeah, just make a quick right here, and it's kind of a straight shot. Just follow up the coast, right, to get to the Sangdad one, right? So that's the biggest one, and then I'll show you too just kind of how extreme, like the ones that, since when you do the supply runs, it's a percent gain increase, right? So like it makes the most sense to go after the factories that produce the most 8s to start with. And so you'll see kind of the jump is more extreme in how many 8s you're producing on a regular basis. I was just going through here, just kind of highlighting that I like to use the enhanced repair kit, and then I kind of have, I have one food recipe piece this here for combat, and then the other one is kind of more the speed, right? So that's just how, yeah. But yeah, you'll see this weekly leaderboard up in the top right, so we see we move down. I was just constantly moving up and down at this, level that we're at here with the factories, right? I always grab whatever 8s are here, and then you do the supply run, right? And it was, what, 148 without the supply run. And then when we go in here and look at it with the supply run, it's 1,488 an hour, right? But you only get that for 20 minutes. So it's kind of like, how worth it is that really? But if you're one of those folks that if you want to fight the leaderboard, that's the way you'd have to do it, right? If you want to try and work your way up to the top, right? But I mean, last season, anyone who reached diamond rank, which wasn't too tough to do, at least if that's something you go for, like, right, if you play a little bit each day, you can reach diamond rank. I think that was what they chose for. There was like cosmetic rewards or something that you would get for the next season, right? So we're already at diamond rank, and we're about halfway through the season. So even if you were starting today at 0 8s gathered for the season, I think you could still make it, right? So maybe use the list, focus on upgrading those factories, right? I think, I titled the video top 10, but there's like 20 in the list, right? I just went down and any that were able to produce more than 100 an hour, that's what I put on the list, right? So if you like spreadsheets, go back and hit pause there, right? So we'll quick do the delivery here and kind of see how much the bump is for doing the supply run here. And this one I think starts, it was 118 or 113 or something an hour without the supply run. We'll check it really quick here. Go in, yeah, 113, right? So then we'll back out and we'll deliver the poppy. And that gives you the plus 900% for 20 minutes. Another thing to remember to make sure that the factory's funded for, don't deliver to one that's about to run out. Yeah, so that gives us 1,134 an hour, right? So you can kind of see 900% more, that's what it gets you, right? So the more it's producing to start with, the better, the more worth it is to do the supply run for those locations, right? So just another thing to sort of keep in mind, right? So Sangdad, and then the other one just to the left of it, those are my go-tos, right? Sangdad starts at 148. That's the best one, my opinion. Well, not my opinion, I think that is the best one, right? But yeah, use your water bottles, sail faster. That's going to be our video for today. Thank you everybody who commented and to let me know that the East Indies were more powerful for this season, right? So if you're still along your upgrade journey for the manufactories, those are the ones to focus on. Those are the areas to focus on, right? And then that's kind of been my strategy with the fleet ships as well. So thanks for watching. Make sure you're following, and we'll see you next time.